welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into Chapter 6, The Stage, How We Grow. We are finally answering the massive question lingering from our last chapter. If you've been following along, you know the founders stepped back so the community could step up. But that leaves us with a fascinating, kind of daunting challenge. Without a founder pulling the strings, without a central team running the show, what is the actual engine for growth?
Okay, let's dive right into this incredible question, because discovering how organic growth replaces paid hype is literally where this project separates itself from the rest of the space. Think about Bitcoin for a second. Bitcoin never bought ads, it never paid for exchange listings, and it definitely never had a corporate marketing team pushing it. It grew simply because the holders became the people who spread it. And we are designed to grow the exact same way, no paid promotion whatsoever.
To see how we build forward, we just have to recognize the pristine foundation we're standing on. Just a quick nod to what we've already covered. We left the rigged market behind, permanently burned the insider bags, secured real utility, and watched the founder step back. The foundation is perfectly clean. But, a foundation isn't a house. How do we actually build on it?
That brings us to Section 1, Rented versus Aligned Attention.
This comparison brilliantly illustrates our strategy. On the traditional side, crypto growth relies on market makers who buy tokens just to fund exchange listings and paid ads. That is rented attention. It's totally temporary, and honestly, it constantly drains the token's value. But our model? Our growth is powered by aligned builders. When they succeed, they automatically promote the shared ecosystem because it benefits them directly. We use absolutely zero rented attention.
So, the crucial takeaway here is that every single builder literally becomes the marketing department. Think about the mechanics. A builder profits from what they create, right? So to serve their users, they give the token utility. They offer rewards, or maybe they implement buy and burn mechanics. They are naturally driving demand back to the token without a single dollar spent on corporate ads. The builder supports the token, and the community who holds it supports the builder. It's a perfect loop. We also naturally grow just by being present in the broader Ethereum community, where holders can clearly see why this is a harder, sounder money.
Let's move to Section 2, Vibe Coding and the Builders.
Now you might be sitting there thinking, well, that sounds great, but I need a rigorous computer science degree to be one of these builders. Scratch that. The rules of the game have completely changed. You no longer need to be a software engineer. The new invitation isn't come if you can code. It's come make your dream. People are building with AI now, through an amazing process called vibe coding. It is a completely open door. If you have an idea, you can use AI to build it, because there is a clean stage and a token waiting right here for you.
To see this in action, let's look at our first two builders whose projects are currently in development, Nicholas and the FX Professor. The absolute most important thing to grasp here is that they are building entirely different, complementary products side by side. They are never competitors. Nicholas is building his own app on the main platform, and just as an honest possibility, not a promise, but a community choice, we could vote to allocate him some tokens once his work is finished as a special exception. Meanwhile, the FX Professor is building a hyperliquid trading app called Matrix for Whales. Because they share one token, one builder's success automatically lifts the other. Let's zoom in on the FX Professor's app for a sec, because it really highlights why this ecosystem works. His app specifically cannot be done on a centralized exchange. It works precisely because users trade entirely from their own wallets, which is exactly what lets them easily buy and hold the token. It'll be gated and utility-based. Basically, it's free to try, but unlocks more access the more tokens you hold. This is what real utility looks like, and the Professor is just builder number one of many standing inside the community, not above it.
Which leads us to Section 3, Hackathons and Noble Competition.
So how do we scale this up and invite the rest of the world to build alongside them? We introduce the Greek concept of amala, which translates to noble competition. In traditional tech, competition is totally zero-sum. If I win, you lose. But it is noble here because all developers share one single token. When they compete in hackathons to build the best apps, any individual victory strengthens the token. That means every single builder benefits. It's not zero-sum, it's many pushing each other upward together.
Consider global hackathon stages, like Dora Hacks. This is where developers build and compete for prizes. It perfectly aligns with our vision by incentivizing builders to turn their ideas into working apps. We can kickstart our community growth by sponsoring hackathons just like this, drawing in fresh talent who just want to build on a clean foundation.
And honestly, the talent is already out there, organized and waiting.
Massive groups of talented developers, like the hundreds of members in this Ethereum Builder group, are hungry for opportunities. They have the skills, they've got the ambition, but what they often lack is a fair, transparent environment. They just need a clean, honest state to build on without insiders dumping on them.
And that is exactly what we're providing. By offering this stage, we become a natural home for these community-approved projects. The rule for all builders here is super simple. You own your product. It's your time, your passion, your code, so how you monetize is entirely your choice. The only requirement? It has to bring real utility tied back to the shared token.
Moving on to Section 4, 2 Fronts of Growth.
This brings us to a really beautiful realization about how this entire ecosystem thrives. We are actually growing on 2 completely different, but totally mutually supportive fronts at the exact same time. On one side, we have the builders. They actively want to create, bring utility to the project, and shine on the stage. On the exact opposite side, we have the holders. They simply want a clean investment, and they provide the rock-solid foundation that those builders need to grow. The builders bring the utility, the holders bring the base, and the result is this massive organic engine where both rise together.
Any clever investor looks at this setup and immediately sees why they should join the holders. You have a completely clean supply, you are holding harder money than Ethereum itself, you've got real, tangible utility being built every day, and absolutely zero insiders skimming off the top. This combination is incredibly rare in crypto, and it honestly becomes a massive, undeniable engine for organic growth all on its own. The market is ready, it's early, and we are growing on all fronts.
Which brings us to Section 5, Oversight. The community votes.
So we have the pristine foundation, and we have the passionate builders. But as this ecosystem scales up and expands, who exactly is behind the steering wheel? If there's no CEO calling the shots, no centralized team, and no central authority, who intervenes if something goes wrong? Who oversees which projects officially stand with the ecosystem and which ones don't?
The answer is that the community doesn't just watch, it governs. Just like Bitcoin, anyone in the world can use it, but the people who actually hold it are the ones who decide its future. We rely on a strict one-token, one-vote system. It's not a team deciding for the people behind closed doors, it's the people deciding for themselves right out in the open, on-chain.
Which perfectly sets up what's next, leaving us with our final and most important question. How exactly do we, as a community, execute this vote and decide our path forward together? This series doesn't end in just ideas. It ends in an actual, tangible decision. We will uncover exactly how that vote happens in our 7th and final chapter. Growth comes from builders, whose success is the token's success, holders who give it a foundation, and a community that owns the outcome. It's a stage where builders and holders rise together. You absolutely don't want to miss the next explainer. See you there.